Coming up tonight at 11, Eastern Kentucky flood survivors join each other for a Thanksgiving meal.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Well, good Thursday evening to you. I'm Dakota Makris. It's a Thanksgiving, and I hope you all had a great one. Well, 2 months ago, we told you about a story about Eddyville, a Whitesburg community in travel trailers that bonded after surviving the flood. Our Chandler Wilcox revisited Eddyville as survivors held a Thanksgiving meal celebrating their friendship.
Thanksgiving 2022 is a little different than past years for flood survivors in Whitesburg.
I've been working at this for about 2-3 months, and I had it in my imagination how I wanted it to look like.
From the travel trailers they're calling temporary homes, flood survivors came together for a feast and games to celebrate each other's perseverance.
Thanksgiving means a lot to me and my family, and it's always been about family. And all these guys are like family to us because we've been through everything together.
Limited amount of cooking supplies did not stop them from setting out every dish possible, even the most gooey options.
I knew they was planning it. Yeah, they overdo everything.
This might be the last holiday alive survivors in Eddyville spend together. After all, everything they have been through lately has been nothing short of memorable in good and bad ways.
We come in as strangers, but we all be leaving as family.
While the tragedy sent them into trailers, what was thought to be totally temporary has turned into everlasting friendship and memories. In Eddyville, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, the One Church organization gathered at the Appalachian Wireless Arena earlier today. One Church is comprised of several churches across Eastern Kentucky whose common goal is to ensure nobody goes hungry this Thanksgiving. More than 1,000 volunteers donated their time during the past 2 days to prepare and serve more than 12,000 meals. Lee Upchurch says they are already planning for next year.
We're seeing, what's working, what's not working, because, when you serve 12,000 meals, that's a logistical operation right there. So, a lot of logistics go in, a lot of planning, a lot of fundraising. So we're just getting ready for that, and it's just such a great time to be alive.
Well, Upchurch added meals have increased every year since the organization was founded in 2021. The organization did just more than 10,000 meals, and so they've increased by 2,000 in only 1 year.
And after a warm and beautiful Thanksgiving all throughout the mountains, some changes already beginning to work in for many of us this evening, I should say. A look outside right now, you see some of those showers trying to push into the Cumberland Valley. Not sure how much of that is reaching the ground at this point, with a lot of dry air still in place. There's the current sweep from Pinpoint Doppler. Heaviest rain in far southern and southeastern parts of Whitley County. That'll be pushing into Knox and Bell counties over the next little bit. Some more showers as you head up toward Laurel County into Clay County along I-75 there, really from Mount Vernon all the way past the Tennessee line. So we're still going to be dealing with a few showers tonight. Those will shift east and really not a ton behind it. A few showers trying to break out across West Kentucky, but they're having a hard time getting going. So for us tonight, we will continue to see those temperatures in the middle and upper 50s in some spots. I mean, look at the variable in these temperatures. It's 58 in Jackson, it's 45 in Manchester, and those dew points remain in the 30s, but finally getting into the 40s, so some folks may actually be seeing some of that rain hit the ground. Many of us in the upper 40s tonight with calm winds and a few showers pushing through. Details on when those showers finally move out and when we could see a few more moving in a few minutes. Dakota?
All right, Evan, thank you. Well, this is usually the time when doctors begin to wonder what kind of COVID spike they will see after the holidays. But this year is different. COVID is not the only respiratory illness causing problems. Doctors told reporter David Mattingly they have never seen a year like this.
Thanksgiving 2022 is a confluence of contagions. The flu is on a rampage. Parents are still wary of RSV and its impact on young children. And of course, there's always COVID.
When kids are back in school and people are back at work and the masking guidelines are falling away, and really the guard is down again.
Trends tracked by Norton Healthcare paint a mixed picture of holiday risks. The positivity rate for COVID cases at 7.3% has remained consistent for 2 months. The positivity rate for RSV is at 8.47%. That number has been falling for 5 weeks. The flu, however, is another story. A 2% positivity rate 5 weeks ago has jumped now to 50%.
Between the ages of 5 and 65, I would put COVID and flu at the top priority of your list at the moment, flu in particular.
It is a new twist on holiday health concerns. After years of COVID warnings about holiday gatherings, state maps show COVID in retreat, with most of Kentucky counties in the green. But look at what's happening with the flu. The red marks counties where the flu is on the rise.
They, have the fevers, they have the body aches, they don't feel good, they're not able to eat or drink enough to keep up their, fluid intake. They have their cough and cold symptoms. They feel sick.
But not all viruses are equal. The flu is not as transmissible as RSV, and it's less likely to land you in the hospital as COVID. Still, that may not make you feel any better if you catch any of them.
COVID is causing more problems than the flu is, that is for sure. But they're both going to make you feel pretty bad.
That was David Mattingly reporting. Health experts say both the flu and COVID are prevented from spreading in the same way: vaccines, hand washing, and masks. Well, the holidays are a joyous time for many, but for some, this time of year can be a nightmare. Adam Maggard with Kentucky River Community Care says for people in recovery or active addiction, grief, returning home to where their addiction began, or other triggering factors can make the holidays especially hard. If your loved one is in recovery, it's important to provide them with a supportive environment during the holiday season.
Just be kind, supportive, and understanding. It's there's a fine line between helping and enabling. So you want to help someone, but you don't want to enable them to make it easier to use.
Maggard says if you are in recovery, it is important to come up with a game plan before holiday gatherings, which means preparing what you will say if someone offers you drugs or alcohol. Well, coming up here on Mountain News at 11, a touching Thanksgiving story you do not want to miss about a grandmother and grandson who finally reunite after more than 20 years. Plus, we visit one Western Kentucky city as the one-year anniversary of deadly tornadoes is just in a few weeks.
Plus, continuing to watch the potential for showers pushing into the forecast. Those details in a few.